Okay, so we are going to talk about logistic functions, which is what we talked about on Wednesday. So these are the functions that kind of look exponentially, so they start off kind of exponentially, but then kind of level out. General form that we're going to work with, c over 1 plus a times b to the x. C is your limit to growth. So your population is never going to surpass that c, whatever that number is. Asymptotes at y equals 0, y equals c. How do you find the x-intercept? Y-intercept, I'm sorry. It's at x equals 0 and solve. Not going to worry so much about growth and decay because almost everything that we're doing, it's going to be growth in this case. This is technically a warm-up, but we'll kind of fly through it. Find the y-intercept and horizontal asymptotes. Horizontal asymptotes, you're going to have one at y equals 0 and one at y equals 8, your limit to growth. To find your y-intercept, I think the easiest thing that I do, we're going to make this x into 0, which is going to turn that entire thing into 1. So this is 8 over 4. So 8 over 4 is going to be 0, 2. Next one, horizontal asymptote at y equals 0, y equals 12. We're going to do the same thing with this guy. He's going to disappear because x is turning into 0. This is 12 over 8, which is going to be 0, and then 3 halves. Last one, you're going to have an asymptote at y equals 32, y equals 0. You can ignore that mess. That's going to be 32 over 32, so 0, 1. The thing I do want to point out is when you're finding the y-intercept, that is your initial value. Two different ways to think about it. Your x is equal to 0. This is your initial value of your function. What we're going to do today, and it is not the easiest thing in the world, is we're going to write these bad boys. You're going to be given quite a few pieces of information. You're going to get the initial value. Your initial value is your y-intercept. It is when x is equal to 0. So even though I have initial value equals 12, the best thing you can say is 0, 12. You need that coordinate. We usually need 2 points to write an actual function. Your limit to growth, that's your c. This is a secondary point. You're going to look at it as x and y. Today, the hardest part is a is not the initial value. We kind of drill it in your head with exponential functions, but this is logistics, so a is not your initial value. It is the y value when x is equal to 0. So your initial value is your y value when your x is equal to 0. This is your basic logistic function. The first thing I want you to do is plug in your knowns, and that's generally your limit to growth. So I'm going to have 36 over 1 plus a times b to the x equals y. Great place to start. Now we just need to find our a and our b. We're going to find our a first. To find your a, we're going to use our initial value. That's because x is 0, y is 12. If I make x 0, that b is going to disappear. If I can make that b disappear, now I have an equation with just one unknown. So y equals 36. Hold on, channel 1. Okay, so 1 plus a times b to the 0. I'm going to put that guy in, and instead of y, I'm going to go ahead and replace that with the 12. So 12 equals 36 over 1 plus a. Make that side into a fraction as well. I'm going to cross multiply. 36 equals 12 times 1 plus a. I'm going to divide each side by 12. You could distribute the 12 as well, either way, but 36 divided by 12 gives me 3, which means take away 1 from each side. My a is equal to 2. Now we know our a, we know our c. The last step is to get our b. To get my b, I'm going to rely on that last point, this 120. So that's my x, that's my y. Y is equal to 36 over 1 plus my a is now 2 times b to the x. What I want to do is take out x and put in 1, take out y and put in 20. 20 equals 36 over 1 plus 2b raised to the first. Steps are going to stay the same. I'm going to divide each side by 20 again. I'm going to keep it as a fraction, and you are going to as well. So I have 1 plus 2b equals 9/5. I'm going to take away 1 from each side, so minus 5/5. 2b is equal 4/5. I'm going to multiply each side by 1/2 or multiply or divide by 2, either way. But I'm going to get b equals 2/5. So when we write this equation, y equals 36 over 1 plus 2 times 2/5 to the x. That is your logistic equation for the first one.